All right. It looks like we're live. And thank you very much. We already have, look at Storybound. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Uh, appreciate that. Wow. I was debating being like, I'm here to play video games. Okay. That's it. Um, let's see. I'm going to double check. We actually are. Man, I've been like really nervous about this all of a sudden. I don't usually get nervous for this stuff, and here we are getting all nervous about it. So we'll see. All right, it's showing that we are. Hopefully, we don't have any issues here. Let me quiet my computer. There we go. All right. I don't know if I can make great content because I have terrible content. That's all I'm able to do is nonsense. So thank you very much. Just anyway, I had some thoughts for some things we could talk about. Let's see. And anyway, just yes, exactly. Hey, sir, thank you so much, Ursi from Cersei. Cersei's booked. Appreciate you coming. Thank you. This is just kind of like, hey, let's figure this out. And I don't know how to say it with my hands still. But anyway, yes, got out of work. That's what I'm still at work, and it was like, all right, better get some things done and make it happen. Misspelled Jared, which is funny because you spell it correctly, I guess, or are you saying that the regular Jared is misspelled? Anyway, um, I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. All right. And this is funny because this is like live is so weird or funny that I'm like, I recognize my friends, but then I'm like, do I know how to pronounce your name? Chibipo, sorry. But hello and welcome. Thank you. Fellow Janny Wirtz enthusiast. That's what we're talking about. That exactly. That's what I was thinking, Jared. I like that though, but I like the anyway. I like your misspelling of it. It's great. Anyway, I'm not gonna go. Oh, okay. There we go. Chiabipo. There we go. Chiabipo. Did I say that? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know. Like live, at least you don't have to edit later, right? You just have to deal with looking like an idiot and misspeaking and talking. That's all you have to do, and be okay with it. So that's what I love. It's just the best. Oh man. Oh yeah. Hey, thank you, Ursi. I appreciate it. I got it right. Yes, I'm gonna have to keep referring back. I'm like screenshot. Anyway, who's excited for Song of the Mysteries, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's the last final book of Janny Wirtz's The Wars of Light and Shadow, coming out soonish. It's been last update I saw, and maybe I don't have a recent update, but the last update was essentially saying that she was on, I think, the 18th or the 15th of 18 chapter sets, and that she was editing it, and it was a pretty intense spot. Let's see. So yeah, that's where I was. Anyway, I just, so that's exciting. Yeah. Okay, good. I was right on that. Yes. Doing the final polish of the chapter 15 of 18. That's what I saw. So we don't have like a set date, but I mean, it seems like reasonable to think it might be next year. So get on your Wars of Light and Shadow. Time to catch up. Super good. Super good. It's one of those where you have to you have to be ready. It's like I compared it in my first review to Malazan or Malazan, whatever you want to call it, in that it's complicated. It's like it's something that you probably, unless you've read a lot of fantasy, which is probably you guys. Yeah, there you go. Good. And 2023 is what is what we're talking. And it's, it's one of those, it's like you just have to be kind of ready to jump in and read it and just kind of commit to it, because it's like it's dense prose. You learn to like love it, and I'm sure plenty of people don't, right? It's not going to be for everyone, but it's very dense prose. But when I finish, I'm just like emotionally all over the place, and it hits it right out of the park for me. So, oh man, Matt, thank you very much. And I've been loving Matt's fantasy book reviews. Definitely check out his channel. Just loving those. I just was commenting on one of his recent ones where he talks about, and I can highly recommend it, talks about the overrated books, the overrated fantasy books. I commend you for going that direction. I need to do one like that because I respect someone who will do, look at, here's what I know I'm going to make some people mad. Here's what I don't like, or what I think are overrated, but anyway, I thought it was a great list, even though I disagreed with plenty, but I also thought it was really good. Let's see. Sorry. Here. Sorry, I just realized I should be showing some of these, huh? I just keep responding to people. I'm not used to the last couple of streams I've done. I haven't been the one in charge of this, so I'm falling behind here. Last live stream I did on my own channel was with Treebeard book reviews, and now I just have myself. I don't know how to do this I don't know how to talk to myself. I usually have to edit that. Let's see. First video compared to now, when I watch on Super, oh yeah, not only the quality of the video recording am I embarrassed of, but also how bad I am at everything. And what's funny is I'm like, have I really even changed much? I don't know. I don't know. My favorite like YouTube personalities are the ones that are just not afraid to just be themselves and own themselves and own their personality and be like, hey, it's not going to be for everyone, but you know what? My people get me, right? That's good. Oh man, thank you very much, Misspelled Jared. And if you haven't checked out the Chaos Reigns series, which is getting a book 2, I hear soon, you got to check it out. Really good urban fantasy, really good. This is on my backlog of videos to make. Where should one begin with Janny Wirtz? This is a great question. Ursi, always with great questions. I recommend To Ride Hell's Chasm. It's a standalone. It's still a chonker. I mean, if you wanted, The Master of White Storm is pretty good. It's a smaller one. I actually haven't read her other trilogy, and she's got a couple more. A lot of people just come in through the Feist, what she did, the daughter, what is it? What's the first one? Servant of the Empire, Daughter of the Empire, Mistress of the Empire, one of those. Anyway, I also haven't read those, but those are supposed to be a really good entry point. I kind of stopped on the, what is it called? The Feist series, and that's how long it's been apparently. But I loved Magician and Darkness at Sethanon. What's the other one? Anyway, I love those ones, but I only like read that first trilogy, or whatever you want to call it. If you call it the one that's broken up in the US, quadrilogy. But anyway, I read that ages ago and just kind of stopped there because it was like, there's a lot in that series and it's a little overwhelming. But I need to get back. That's one of definitely on my list. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Beth. Appreciate it. Yeah, there you go. See, I've got backup. To Ride Hell's Chasm. I really think it's the best. It's such a cool, just character study. I compare, if you've watched Equilibrium, I compare the like jujitsu ninja moves to Equilibrium's, was it gun kata, kind of that, without, guns. So it's close though. But anyway, I like that. Thank you very much. Loving the channel, the Rekindled Reader. You gotta check that out. Really great channel. Highly recommended. Growing like crazy. And I'm loving I need to get a good logo. That's a good logo. You got nailed the logo. Awesome. Let's see. Yes, good. That's what I was thinking. Is Cycle of Fire was the one I was thinking of. Empire Trilogy. Those are the two big ones. But yeah, Master of White Storm is kind of like, I feel like Hell's Chasm is more like if you're planning on kind of seeing if you want to go into, for Janny Wirtz, of course. But if you want to go, Hell's Chasm, I think, is one that kind of informs you on whether you want to go into the big series, the Wars of Light and Shadow. I think that's a good one. There you go. Yes, I got to do it. Oh wow, that's amazing. Everyone loves a good A watch. That's great. That's what Goodreads was based upon, right? That's what it's made for. So that's good. I love that. That's amazing. Holy cow, I didn't even realize that. I need to go check that out. That's cool. I just enjoyed the video, so that's great. I'm like, do I have that controversial of opinions? One might be for me, and this is maybe anyway, plenty of people I think agree with it, would be the Night Angel trilogy by Brent Weeks. You can see how much editing I do. Alone the fact that I cut my ums in half, but not I don't get rid of them in my videos, but I do a lot of like editing. So that's where I'm at. But I would say that one because I actually really loved it, and I plan on reading. I want to read the new series and see how that goes, but the ending to that one was rough, and I just felt like it was like, oh, you guys are all here at the final thing. What? Like magically, I guess, but just with zero explanation. Let's see. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I like Master of White Storm. It's a really good one. It's a fun, just anyway, I like, the master himself of White Storm is just good. One that I don't know, a weird connection, but like half a king. And you might understand me there, but if you've read them both, but like lots of rowing is what I remember from it. And I'm like, maybe I need to get into rowing, and that will get rid of my gut. So, speaking of getting fit to be read. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yes, exactly. That's a good one. Sanderson is overrated. Good luck. What's funny is my biggest performing video so far, over 8,000 views, because you better believe I know on a like almost hourly basis how many views it has, because I'm ridiculous. But uh, if you look at, because you can look in your YouTube analytics, and you can find out exactly like what people are doing with that, and how much they're watching, and well, I guess go this way, how much they're watching of the video, and you could see it's like a huge drop off after the first like couple minutes of my why you should not read Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archive. And so yeah, I get a lot of comments on that are like, I agree with you, Sanderson, he's the worst. And I'm like, it's a bit of a bait and switch. Keep watching the video there. So it cracks me up though. But I can see that. There's, I mean, plenty of things I think I could see people disliking or not liking. But for me, I think what I'm looking at is, because I think like even just prose in general, he has some great sayings and some great lines, but I think your prose, you're not going for like the purple prose in any way for Sanderson. Like, I mean, like Janie Wirtz, you're going like that's prose heavy, and if you love that, Janie Wirtz is the way to go. But Sanderson is like workmanlike prose. He's going to get you from A to B, and then because his is more the story itself, the plot, and that's the focus, and the anyway. So that's those are my 2 cents on that. Let's see. Yes, daughter, servant, mistress. I was okay. I got it even in the right order somehow. I don't know how. Oh man, thank you so much. What is the highlight? Oh my gosh, probably just being able to talk to somehow the like Philip Chase I got to talk to in a stream. AP Canavan just did one recently, literally like this last week. Some of just my like idols, and being able to like when Mike of Mike's Book Reviews followed me on Twitter, I like screenshotted it, and I was like, that is cool. Like, because they're just like my heroes of YouTube, and it's just really fun to just be able to interact with just people that I respect so much, and then on top of it, get to know so many great like just friends. And I hate naming anyone, because then I'm going to forget so many, but like Ursi and Treebeard and Chaz, and I mean just the people like that don't have YouTube channels, but that like are just constantly like chatting with you. Anyway, boiled jellyfish. I don't know how much people want me to like say names, so I kind of go with their like more like internet names than if I anyway they've disclosed that they want more than just their own than their internet name. Then I'll try to say actual names, and feel free to let me know in the comments. But anyway, but that has been it. Just that's why we came here. It's like I have like 3 real life friends that talk fantasy or read fantasy books, and it's not like you can do that all the time. When clearly I want to do that 24/7. Okay, so this gets me closer to that. Oh, and Michael, thank you so much. It's just been fun. Like Michael's one of those, like, we've become friends on Twitter, and it's just fun to like see like what he's into and what he's doing right now. Oh man, yes. Okay, what am I reading? What am I reading? That's a good question. I've been slowly going through the Reckoner series. I have this weird habit of I'll have a physical book, audiobook, at least one, if not more, and then like a Kindle book. And usually a Kindle book I go like molasses slow through, because it's the book that I want to have something where I'm out and about, I can just kind of pick up and start reading. But I also like having my physical book, so it's my way of like merging the two. But I usually like will focus on the like physical book, and then I'll try to, after I finish my physical book, I'll like lay down and have my Kindle book, and then usually it's like, and then after 3 paragraphs, I'm out at that point. So anyway, that's one. A Drowned Kingdom I am listening to by P.L. Stewart. So this is indie August. I'm trying to do my indie, read my indie books, and it's been really fun. Another one I started was just because I couldn't resist, the Threadlight series, what is it, Voice of War, by SFF author on Zach Argo. And so far, very interesting, but I'm only like 10% in, and I was like, wait, focus. Okay. So too easy not to get unfocused here. But yeah, that's it. Let's see. Empire Trilogy. Yes, that's one of those two. I know exactly. Patrick's been huge on that. Again, that's another one. Again, I've forgotten. There's what is it, Fina? I've missed so many people, so many great people. Bald Booktuber got to know on a stream, and that's again Steve of Steve's books. There's just so many great people in this space that are just so supportive. Like that's what I love about this, is it's we're all on the same team. I like being on a team with people. I liked playing Contra. Right, Contra was my like early 90s video game of choice, because you could play with somebody, or the Ninja Turtles ones where it, mash buttons, but at least you could play with your friends, right? And Halo was a good one, right? All right, let's see here. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's yeah. Master of Whitestorm is just like, this dude, he's gonna do this. Now he's going over here. Here's some good adventures. I love that. Oh man, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And it took me long enough. But yes, it is crazy. And it's good. It was good again. This is like, it's so cool. I got to meet the Bald Booktuber again. I'm trying to be respectful, but then it's like I feel so like my friends here that I'm calling by their official names. I don't know. Yeah, I remember reading it in law school, and just blazing through. One of them was just, I loved those paperbacks in your hand. They just felt so good to read through. They're really fun. So I just love just reading through the paperbacks of the Night Angel trilogy. They were just, and like book 1 and 2 were just fun. It's not like this was just for action, and it was lots of great, just, and I heard it got a lot of people back into reading and fantasy. And then, but I just felt like that one really did not stick the landing really much at all. There you go. See, that's a good point. Is that's what I as a lawyer, this had to come up, right? Sorry, I don't mean to bring that up. It's just it's like affects everything that I do. But that's the thing is it's people's words matter, right? And it's like just because I said overrated doesn't mean I don't like. It just means like is maybe more rated than they should be in an over direction. I always thought this is something to think about, and I think Sanderson was inevitably heading there, but he became a New York Times bestselling author, and they started slapping that on the books. But it was through writing The Wheel of Time, which was like, duh, of course I was gonna, any of those were gonna become Wheel of Time or New York Times bestselling books. But I was kind of like, but he didn't really earn it, did he? I mean, but eventually was going to. So it's really just a matter of timing anyway. So he was heading there. Oh man, thank you so much, Kay. That's another one. Just Kay's we're doing that pyramids read along, so I'm excited to get to know Kay some more. It's just there's always like some read along going on or some challenge or hey, like I mean just being on on board with this just jump for indie or self-published books is just it's fun because I think more and more people need to read them, need to throw that support and some like any books like traditionally published books can be bad too. I just find that's the same reason I go to Goodreads or go to BookTube or go to used to be blogs when I was blogging. That was the way to go to get your recommendations. And so you can find good ones. You could find the ones that will fit you or that sound good to you. Oh, that's so nice. So like I was just so that's where I'm like I need to do one of those like shout out to smaller booktubers because I still think of myself as just like I'm just I clearly don't know what I'm doing first of all, and second of all it's just like yeah I don't anyway I just it's cool like you reach these I kind of just I guess I see us all as like we're all getting there, right? And it's just just like I started sooner than some people, and that's all. And then people have passed me up that are way better at this and more popular, whatever it may be. But again, we're all on the same team. That's the beauty of it. Love it. We're all just here for good reads, right? Not for good reads. No, I don't have any backing from them. If they want to, it's fine, but they'll never give any. Yes, exactly. Oh yeah, there's so many like I did not expect I'm almost done here and I did not expect it to go where it's going with the Drone Kingdom. So not even close. So there we go. Boiled jellyfish. I already mentioned you even. And I don't know if you caught that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, exactly. Just as we as we agreed upon, well, I'm getting to 1 million. It'll be just take me a couple more weeks. That's all. Let's see. Oh, good. Yes. Okay, that's good to hear. And then the third book, that was another reason. It's like the third book in the Threadlight series is out or coming out soon. Anyway, the arcs were out. I can at least definitively say that. Anyway, so good. Yes. Anyway. Yeah, and the audio is really well done too. I've been very impressed with the audio. That's what I've been doing too. Yes, yes. You should see the comments for my video on the warband. Boiled Jellyfish might have won with his warband of Danny DeVito for everyone. And maybe you should like Frank from It's Always Sunny as your counselor. I don't know. Anyway, I'll stop there. The Danny DeVito from the movie Twins as your counselor, and then I don't know how to make that. I'm going to be terrible, but I loved it. I was laughing, and then Ethan Aurelius from Cradle as a wild card, which that was a wild card for me. Yes, the Gabby. Oh man, yes, I miss you too, man. We need to do another stream, Andrew. That was so much fun. That again, he's one of the reasons why it's like just good friends that I've met in like almost immediately. We just started like chatting on YouTube and Twitter, and like Andrew's one of those that just immediately welcomed this goofy, like, I'm going to talk about some fantasy books that I like. Okay, and just like welcomed me in with open arms, and so it's just like, this is so much fun. So anyway, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Oh man, and books viewers want. Oh, good point. What I probably should do is do more like polls and stuff. I I learned a long time ago when I have to do my old person voices. Like when I was a book blogger, back in like 2010 ish, 9ish. I started book blogging, and so if you've seen, and it's like I tried to like keep up a little bit lately, but only the best sci-fi fantasy blog I was working on. I also had my own kind of for a little bit that started me, but I just learned because part of the biggest problem, and I know this is like looking a gift horse in the face, but you get inundated with all these books, and especially when you get on the list for like Tor and Ace and all these things, and they'll just start throwing books at you, because I really think it's probably pretty cheap to just, the books themselves to them at cost is probably pretty cheap, and they'll just send you like all kinds of stuff, and you legitimately feel like you need to read all of these books, and you're just like, I can read like in a good year, what is it, like 60, maybe 65 in a good year of reading. Like that's like a healthy year for me. I'm not one of these, I wish I were these 300 books a year. My son is already there. He's read through like every Brandon Sanderson and whatever. Like he could get there and actually keep up, but I'm like, there's no way I can keep up. So I just, and it's hard when you get like the new shiny and you're like, but it looks so cool and everybody's talking about it. Like the latest one, speaking of Andrew, is the Legend of Blackjack, and I've had the hardest time not just like throwing everything out and just reading that one because of Andrew's recommendation. And so yeah, that's what I do. But it's like I want to jump on, and I kind of am comparing it to books viewers want me to read. It's hard, but it is like I do need to like mentally go, okay, what's going to be best for me? You got to have some kind of, there's the mood reading in me, so I have a hard time. What I'm saying is I'm terrible at it, but I do try. What I've made my focus is just, you know what, and I tell everyone, hey, I'm happy to accept books. I'm happy to feature them in book hauls and everything. I hate disappointing people, and I'm tired of it, and I just have stopped promising anything. I'll read what I read, and if it happens, if I happen to read the book you want me to, then that's great. We all win. And if I don't, I don't, and we'll, but I gotta like, I had a TBR 1,000 books long before I entered, this scene, and then it just explodes because you just find out so much more based on all your friends, what they're reading and all that. And so it's just so hard to keep up. What a rambling, terrible answer for that. Thank you, though. That's a great question. All right. Yes, thank you. That's like literally if I had to list the books that I own the most of that I should have read by now, it's like Michelle West would be on the top of that. I have The House War. I have the Hunter's Oath, Hunter's Death, duology. I have a couple in the Sun War, Sun something. Anyway, I own so many of Michelle West books that I should have read those like years ago, but here we are. But anyway, I got one on Audible the other day. So this was like, okay, when I like get a break, that's the problem, is I always go, all right, when things clear up, which they literally never do, then I will read this. And again, this is why I get behind on like some of my favorite authors. And that's what I'm even trying to catch up with. Oh, Hannah, thank you. Hey, thank you so much. It's been great just interacting. Hannah and I have some legal, interests in common, so it's good. But she's much smarter than me and has gotten out of it, so that was smart. I am still deep into it, and it's a rough thing to be into. Oh, virtual hug back, Ashley. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Oh man, thank you so much, Aaron. I've been watching some of your videos. Like really, like go check out Aaron's library. This is, I think, is it the same Aaron that I'm thinking? It's got to be right. As I talk to myself, I don't know. Excuse me, sorry. Yes, right? Exactly. Exactly. We need to read more fantasy books with Danny DeVito. He needs to be in all of them. At least as like a psychic. He could be a Hoyd, right? Or who else? Or like a Wit from the Farseer. Just there, just in everything. Yes, I did. Maybe it was like right before you had first commented. Anyway, yes, let's do that. I had debated starting this going, now that I have you here, we're going to talk Malazan, and that's it. Yes, that's true. Let's do this. I'm so in. I'm always a step away from rereading Malazan anyway. So yeah, that's insane. See, like double that by the end of the year. Well, double-ish, at 100 at least. 240 for the year. That's impressive. I am like hats off. I am the slowest reader ever. Yeah, that's a good question, Andrew. Thank you. Just read. That's part of the problem is I used to, like, that was when I was reading like easily, 60, 70 a year. And exactly, that's what I still, and I'm one of those too. It's like, you know what? Any amount, like literally, if we just hit like over the average, which what is it, like 3 or something? Like, and it's like, I think it's like 3 books that you've just read in your life after college is like a good, it's like over the average, at least in the US or something like that. It's like terrible. The stats, don't look them up. They're highly depressing on actual readers. I guess good thing for like Audible to get people like really like reading or something again. But used to be, now that I have 4 children, a law practice, and and a wife that I can't just completely ignore, although I'm sure she feels that way. But we'll read like, or we'll watch like a show before bed, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine or The Office or something like that, or Community. I'll get her to watch it sometimes. She likes the normal episodes, but the weird ones that I love, she has a harder time with. And so we'll do those, like a comedy something, and then she'll like do her own thing and read or whatever. She likes like historical fiction, and I'll read my fantasy books or science fiction. So that's where, and then I do, Audible. I'm like in every, where while I'm weed eating over the weekend or while I'm driving to and from work. That's kind of, and I wish I even like lunch, a lot of, we just do like, lunches is like sometimes the only time we can get together as a partnership for the firm to even just discuss what do we need to do next. So lunch, I can't even say that I really am able to do much reading. Sometimes I can, but it is still rare. Oh man, but yeah, exactly. So I would just say highly supplemented with audiobooks. It used to be I'd read like 80% physical books to 20% Audible or audio, and then it's like switched completely. And it's so, which, hey, that's the thing is, it's happening, right? 49. Congratulations. That is impressive. Yes, that's what I keep hearing from you mostly, but also from other people, Andrew. So I need to read Blackjack. That's great. And the author Whittam started his own YouTube channel, I'd heard somewhere. So I needed to check that out. That was something that I did not get to. Yes, let's do it. It's time to go. I think that was on the Malazan read. I would be down. Okay, there you go. Hey, whatever floats your boat, right? Like I am not necessarily interested in it, but I mean, I've also enjoyed all kinds of genres that I never thought I would. Like a Western, I was just like, I don't know, I've been prejudiced against Westerns for whatever reason. But one of my favorite books is Wizard and Glass by Stephen King. So I'm going to give everything a chance. Oh, good. All right. Let's see. There's a backup. I like that. Yeah, exactly. You keep seeing it everywhere. Partly because Andrew is everywhere, right? Like that's the thing. Andrew's on like Mike's channel, his own live streams. I love seeing Andrew's success. This is great. All right, I'll skip a couple here. Oh yeah, yes. Let's talk. Yeah, exactly. And I took an antitrust class in law school, and I got an A in it. Yeah, I wish that happened more than it did. But that was a good one. That I just, I was thinking about it actually. I was just answering some comments before I jumped on here. The deal, like for readers, like I just think I just don't think as a like especially just from the perspective of a reader, I just don't know if there can be really any benefit to the Penguin Random House becoming what is it? What would it be? Penguins Random Schuster. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like it's not going to help us. I don't think. But at the same time, maybe like if we were back when we thought that publishing was dying, and maybe it still is. Maybe I don't know. Maybe my like I just feel like it's gotten better with one with like the ability of like and maybe just big house publishing like the big houses, the big six publishing is it could be dying. I don't know, at least more than like because the independence and like Amazon's doing a really like great job with the self-published and you just see how many of these series take off. Look at Cradle. Just I mean look at the amount of reviews for the Cradle series or just ratings. It's tens of thousands. Um, we're talking for yeah, Cradle's got like tens of thousands. I'm sorry, trying to do too many things. Pulling that up, tens of thousands of views. Look at Unsold's got 29,000 ratings on Goodreads alone. And it's just blowing up. And so I'm like, at least something is blowing up with it. And maybe, and then you see these like indie authors getting these traditional contracts. I don't know. I have a hard time feeling that they're really hurting right now. There was a time we all thought it was dying and that, print was just, and I just was dying and I feel like it's better than ever. Maybe I'm not going to pretend like I actually know these things, but it just seems like, it can't be good for us. And so I'm good. But, here's the deal. I have an economics undergrad too. And there's like, you can have a monopoly that is, as long as it's an efficient monopoly and does, what it does well, it can be good. And okay, so that's as far as I'll go for supporting a monopoly. And there's an argument that like, it's a monopoly that's not like cutting other people out. It's that it's just does what it does so well and so efficiently that it becomes a monopoly because of how efficient it is. But it usually like that's not going to last long. It's going to get some competition eventually. But it just in these, it's hard to be like really another like it's already literally Penguin Random House. So like this happened before. I'm sure it happened even before then to something. And then Simon and Schuster on top of it. I just like I don't know. I think it's not going to benefit us. I'm watching some. I don't know if the authors want me to name them at all, but I just saw some authors that I respect quite a bit that have traditionally published, and they are going, look, what's going to happen is they go, oh, we're going to keep all the backlog or the back entries for the the back stories or books for even the smaller authors. We're keeping it all. We're going to do that. And then immediately and inevitably, there comes a day where, yeah, they kept it for like 5 minutes and then they hack them and get rid of a lot of authors that, that just didn't deserve that or whatever it is. But anyway, I just don't think it's worth that. Anyway, and mostly because I'm selfish and I'm going, I don't think this helps me at all. I think if anything, it's going to cut down on what I see, and I don't want that. Yes, yeah. Deadhouse Gates is one of my favorites. It took me the reread though for it to really become a favorite. I don't think I liked it the first time as much as everyone. Everyone would like name Deadhouse Gates in the Malazan Book of the Fallen as their like Deadhouse Gates and Memories of Ice would be their top two. And I was like, I don't know about Deadhouse. And now that I've reread it, I'm like, yep, easy top. I don't know. I also say any Malazan book I'm reading currently is my favorite, so it's hard to really commit. As long as I don't fully make that list, I can say that it's in my top 3. Just don't ask me which 4 or 5 are in my top 3, okay? No virtual hugs for you. No, I'm just kidding. Yes. Yeah. There we go. I like that. Danny DeVito would make a fantastic. Am I going to pronounce this wrong? Shallan? I don't know. I love that. Virtual handshake. Yes. Virtual hug for everyone. It's still here. Not for anyone who left. Okay. I love that. Yes. Could Danny DeVito make he'll make anything tolerable? First of all, I actually liked her. It took a reread. I did not love her on the first read of Way of Kings. All right. Oh, there we go. That's all we have to do. Danny DeVito for Superman. I mean, come on, wouldn't that? I just watched my kids were watching one of those like where they just mash together a bunch of you laugh you lose videos. They just find such nonsense as if because I never do. I never watch or find nonsense on the internet to watch. But I'm watching my kids watch this like it's the Lion King and it's the terrible part where Mufasa and it's the new one and he's climbing up the cliff and you know what's going to happen because everyone's seen it. And then you see Frank from It's Always Sunny and I was like, I know I've seen this scene before. And he comes over and he pushes Mufasa down with a 2x4 and it was just so wrong on so many levels. I was like, are my kids seriously watching Frank from It's Always Sunny? Like that's scary. Danny, yes, I love this. Oh man, I don't even know where to start with this whole line here of Danny DeVito and Shallan, and then we're gonna now fund a Kickstarter. Anyway, you guys. Oh, this is good. I was just okay. I gotta look it up. I'm gonna find this. I just got to. We're gonna find a good quote. Okay, character. The character's hard. I literally was just trying to look up like what are people gonna ask me? There's always like a favorite question. Malazan favorite. Quick Ben's an easy one. Whiskey Jack's an easy one. Fiddler's an easy one. I'm gonna narrow it down to Tehol of Tehol and Bug fame. Because he's hilarious, but super dangerous and crazy and intelligent. And I just respect an author. Like, you've got a really intelligent author because the author, like, to make a character that intelligent, you have to kind of like at least be able to come up with something to show that he's that intelligent. And I'm always like, that's where it astounds me is like, and what intimidates me so much from writing my own stuff is because I'm just like I'm not as smart as the people I want to write about, or I'm not as action available. I can't edit any of this out, can I? Sorry, trying to look up a quote here. I don't have skills, is what I'm saying. I have no skills. I don't have nunchuck skills, and I don't have computer hacking skills. So I like, how am I supposed to make that happen? There's some Gardens of the Moon because I just did a stream, or not. It wasn't a live stream, but it was a talk with AP Canavan, PL Stewart, and Angela, and we did. Sorry, I'm trying to do too many things. Garden of the Moon quotes. There we go. And we were just talking about, and I was just like rereading some of Gardens of the Moon, and I was like, there's some good like Gardens of the Moon is known as being like one of the less good books in the Malazan series, but I'm like, there's some great quotes like right off the bat. Like, here we go. Like Ganos Perrin in the like almost immediately tells Whiskey Jack in like the prologue of Gardens of the Moon, the first book, he goes, I want to be a soldier, a hero. And Whiskey Jack goes, you'll grow out of it. It's just like just like dismissive line. Just anyway, like it's not like my favorite of all time, but man, there was just so many good lines. I mean, and this is like profound, and if you think about it, shake your fist all you want, but dead is dead. I mean, frankly, that's it. But anyway, I have so many good quotes. My last like my review on Goodreads of The Crippled God is like, I just filled it with a bunch of quotes. I just thought, and so if you want to check that out, my review for The Crippled God, highly recommended, because I wrote it. And I'm sorry, sounds, I'm not trying to be cocky here. Like it's probably a terrible review, but it's good because I was able to use quotes from other people that are good. See, that's how you make things good. I think it was all Oscar Wilde that said, quotes are a serviceable substitute for wit, which I need a lot. All right, we got kids who has time to just go, exactly. Yeah, I know. I did. I mean, there's like so much truth to that. It's so true. That's all I want to do. Have you seen the it's the Sandra Bullock movie? What is it? The Lost. I'm gonna. Why do I suck at? Why do I blink out immediately? Anyway, it's the Channing Tatum, Brad Pitt. Lost City, yeah, okay. Lost City, got you got to watch that. It's so funny. With Channing Tatum as the cover model, there's so many parts. Like, I thought the trailer would just have all the funny parts in it. Not even close. It's like the whole thing. I was laughing, and there's this motorcycle scene. I was like, this is I was falling out of my chair in the movie theater. Anyway. Yes, that's the only way to do it. In fact, it has to be flowing, though. You have to have flowing clothing, which I'm gonna have to get some. I have bad clothing and bad for your eyes clothing. Yes. Oh, and didn't they drop Michelle West too? Like, that was a thing that like drove me nuts and made me start complaining, because they like dropped Michelle West because they're like, you write too thick of books. And it's like, because I know booksellers are always complaining about thicker books, but it's like, then sell them online. I don't know. I have bad solutions for things, but I'm like, but thicker books are where it's at. That's where you want to be. That's what we love. Yeah. Oh, okay. See, exactly. So reason enough, just no. And I'll be honest, I don't know, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I don't like penguins, like the way that they put their, I don't know, like the orange and the penguin on stuff has never just stood out to me as like, oh, I gotta go read that. Is like, it kind of just, it always strikes me as like, it just feels like school, and I don't want to read it until like I'm like, I give them the benefit of the doubt and read them plenty of times, but I've just never been a fan of their. Anyway, does that make sense what I'm talking about? Anyway, There's too many times I'm going, does that make sense? Do I make sense? I can't edit myself to make sense and write notes about how I don't make sense. No way. Okay. That's great. I love the clarification. That's so good. All right. I'm going to put these. Okay. Because I think I jumped too quickly. That's pretty great. That's an impressive, yeah. She's got it going on, getting checked out by Fabio. Oh, the book bro. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I really it's just, this is so much fun. This is I keep saying that over and over, but I will not stop. Please, yeah, try to stop me. Unplug my computer. I don't know. That is I literally have it. A.R. Whittam. Got a good Twitter presence, really good. I mean, I love a good author that'll just get out there and chat with people and be all over the place. So apparently worked in has some kind of Emmy or something for writing, and Emmys for TV, right? So kind of backs that up. So book time with Ryan. Yes. Hey, thank you so much. I know I'm still going. For so long you're going, I'm never going to ever reach 1,000 subscribers in my whole life. Yeah. There you go. I like this. Can we also petition to change it to AR with hams? Because I remember that. AR Whittam. I think I appreciate that. Will Jellyfish answering who wrote Blackjack. Not a hugger. Get out of here. Okay, non-huggers can be here, but it's just virtual, okay? That's a great question. The ultimate fantasy book nerd question. Oh man, I'm like neutral. Option C, neither. It's never going to happen. That's my first instinct. I've had to, and that's more for me, for my own mental health. I've had to go, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. We could just step back. We don't have to, it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to have an ending to some of your favorite books ever. It's fine. There luckily are plenty of other books. But anyway, if I have to, gun to the head, because I always appreciate if you just answer also the question. I am a lawyer, and there's so many times in court where I'm just like I don't know if you saw the Amber Heard getting questioned by Vasquez, and Vasquez is trying to say you never actually, gave the money, right? And then Amber Heard is like, well, I pledged the money, and then Vasquez is like, but I'm asking if you gave the money, and then Amber Heard keeps going, but pledged. And I've just had that situation so many times in my life where I'm just like up there going, Judge, can you just tell her to answer the question? My gosh. No comment on anything with that, but it's just that line of questioning was just like, brought up so many, that is literally my weekly, if not daily experience where nobody can actually answer the question. Anyway, that was a tangent. But anyway, I'm going to commit to, okay, here we go. Because here, and I literally pulled this out. I've been planning on, I'm trying to do a Fire and Blood review, finally get that up before the season starts. I pulled out this right at the very end. This is kind of what started a lot of George's problems, where he says, he has this right here. Meanwhile, back on the wall. And if you look closely, this last line, he literally says here, we'll have, because essentially this whole paragraph right here at the end of Feast for Crows, when this came out back in 2005, was, hey, I wrote the whole book, but had to split it in two. I split it by the South and by the North. And therefore, all impressions were the North has been written I just need to publish it next year. And literally it says right here, Tyrion, Jon, Dany, Stannis, and Melisandre, Davos Seaworth, and all the rest of the characters you love or love to hate will be along next year. I devoutly hope. We in A Dance with Dragons, and as we all know, it was 6 years later. So anyway, that was one where, but because so he's learned his lesson. I bring that up to point out that he learned a very bad lesson with that, saying next year. He did say, I devoutly hope. So he gave himself a little bit of a way out, but everyone was like, keep to your, we're like, no, you said a year though. So he's like, ever since then, learned his lesson not to promise anything until there's like literally like it has been bound in book form and ready to go. And so the fact that George R. R. Martin has actually made comments about making some progress in Winds of Winter, I'm going to go with that. So that was, wow, the longest, stupidest way to get there. But anyway, that was on my mind already. Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. I need to get some and Liger drawing skills. I don't have those either. All right, let's see. See, that's what I think too, is like, and that's where I go, I have a hard time. I know people will struggle with Gardens of the Moon and the Malazan Book of the Fallen. And then they will be like, and a lot of people will be like, hey, don't worry, it gets better in books 2 and 3. And I'm like, well, for me, I loved Gardens, even though I was completely confused and had the same questions as everyone. But then I also loved Deadhouse Gates. And well, not as much Deadhouse Gates, but I still liked it anyway. And then Memories of Ice. So it's hard to, anyway, that one's one. It was so good. I just loved it. And so I'm like, I have a hard time going, I don't know. If you don't like it, you don't like it, maybe, and that's fine with Malazan. Like, not all books are for everyone. That's my philosophy. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is that's where I go, is like I once at the beginning of my YouTubing, I like pulled out my list of ongoing series I was in the middle of, and it was like 40. And so I was like, okay, so I've been like trying to get through the ones that I can complete, because I was just trying to keep track, because it would be, you start A Song of Ice and Fire. Well, that's, I'm still kind of currently reading that series for, 20 years now, almost. I started in 2005. Holy cow, it's almost been 20 years. And then, so you got like, that one's ongoing. I mean, Dresden technically is ongoing, even though I've caught up fully to that one. Anyway, so I feel yeah. Lost Cities, dude, see it, and didn't like, propose it to your wife and say, will do one of your movies, like try to get it counted as her movie, if you can, and then it's win-win. Try to do that. It's Channing Tatum, I don't know, or Sandra Bullock. You got lots of options. Either way. And we'll see, Andrew. I know I've already missed you, I'm sure. And thank you, Andrew, too. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that was Michelle West, right? That's good. And I'm so glad that she's going. And I think Patreon's such a good thing for authors. I think I hope more and more authors will get on board with that, because like fans want this to happen. One of my kind of newer favorite series is in the last 10 years, not like one of the classic fantasy series, but has been Courtney Schaefer's the Whitefire Crossing and the Shattered Sigil series. And when Nightshade kind of publishing kind of had some issues for a while, and then she couldn't get her last book published through them, so she did the last book just kind of as a Kickstarter. I was really, really happy with that, but then she hasn't done anything since, and I'm like, I'm sure it just has to do with that experience. Like, anyway, so the more, I don't know, I think more and more authors should look to Patreon, look to I think you'll find the fans ready to pony up and do this. Yeah, okay, good. I'm not the only one. As I was complaining about the orange penguin logo, because it'll take up like a lot of times just like half the book, and I don't know, just this has never done things for me. I don't know, maybe it does for some people. I'm sure other people are like, oh, that makes me think fondly of reading and of my, anyway, I don't know, who knows. Oh man, thank you, Dave. Dave is one of those that gave me an early shout out. David DeCero, definitely go subscribe, go check out David's channel. Like one of the funniest. Just the skits are amazing, and just everything you're doing, man. Just keep it up, and love your channel. Again, you were one of the first that just like, hey, there's this new YouTuber on one of your chats, and I just appreciated that and still do to so much. You're one of the reasons, man. Appreciate that. All right, so this is on the King Killer 3 and A Song of Ice and Fire 6. Now, if you said like finishing King Killer 3 or finishing the King Killer Chronicles and finishing A Song of Ice and Fire, I might go with Patrick Rothfuss, because we'll see when spring comes, as I'll put it. We'll see how that happens. Oh man. Let's see, gonna come out the same day, just to make everyone's complete. That would be great. I would take that. I will be happy. Let's bring on the chaos. Oh, I know, right? Well, and that's the thing, is it's so hard, because I have to give them the benefit of that too, being a lawyer and prepping clients that are like, you're just like, what? You're not even saying anything that we talked about. I mean, not that you're like, I don't coach people to like, here's what you say like that. It just, you don't say that. It's just, but it's more like, but don't say this. Like I go, here's an example. Don't ever on the stand say, to the best of my knowledge, blah blah blah. Like, you look so shady if you use that phrase ever and you're in court. You can say that to the police officer, whatever, say that to certain people, but like in court, you're just going to look like you're just trying to duck the question, and you look so shady. I'm always like, if you don't know, you don't know. You could say, I don't know. And if you do know, then say it. Like, be confident in your answer. I always am telling people, look, court is like, it's like a game of whatever game you play. Just because someone scores a couple points doesn't mean that you lose the game. I mean, unless they got the oh my gosh, the Harry Potter. It's already been too late, too long of a game. The Golden Snitch. Sorry, my word. This is how I film videos, and then I go back and actually like pause, go actually find the word I need, and then go back, and then I edit out this nonsense. But yeah, it was. But you can never like fully prep a client for everything. But that should have been definitely one where it's like, come on, you got to know, like, this question's gonna get asked. That's going there, and you gotta be prepared for that. And just, but maybe that was their prep, and it was like, ugh. But the amount of time I'm just like, answer the question, answer honestly and truthfully, because they're gonna like, you're gonna make yourself look bad if you don't. And if you lose credibility, that's worse than owning up to something that maybe is a little bad, right? We all have, like, we're all gonna have warts. We're all human. You're gonna have them, and eventually it's probably going to come out, especially in court, because that's the worst time ever. Anyway, I'll get off that. But yes. Sorry, that was about Amber Heard. Hey, thanks again, Hannah. You're probably already gone, but thank you. If you do check this out again, I should probably wrap this up here soon. I got to get going here to get my own kids in bed and stuff. Exactly. I mean, who doesn't need more Channing Tatum, right? Oh man, who made the biggest impact? Part of it is my mom. She would always have a book with her all the time. But I have a good friend, just from college, that really, he actually handed me Melanie Ron's Dragon Prince. I remember it was our second year of college, and I was just kind of like, hey, what's all this stuff? He had just had a bunch of fantasy books. They look cool. I mean, you got those beautiful Michael Whelan cover art there. He's like, you're going to like this. And then after I finished that Dragon Prince trilogy by Melanie Ron, I just like absolutely loved it. It was so good, because that's what got me back into it. Like, I had read a bunch in elementary, a little bit in college. I read the Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion, and sorry, in college, in high school, I read the Lord of the Rings there. But it was college where I'd like, it was another couple years, and then I got back into it. But he handed me that. Melanie Ron got me back into it. And then he was like, We went just, to Borders back in the day, back in 2005. And he was like, I was looking for a new book, and he was like, Game of Thrones, a Game of Thrones right there. He's like, and I'm really jealous that you're reading it for the first time, because I wish I could do that again. And that just sold me on it. It was like, done. So my good friend from college, just that was a huge impact, and probably the reason I like really pushed forward. Oh man, thank you so much, Austin. I really appreciate it. Okay, other favorite movies. Good question. I already mentioned Equilibrium. That is a favorite. Lord of the Rings. I mean, those go without saying. Um, Movies that I can watch over and over again. John Wick. Those are they're so good, and I can rewatch the Infinity War and Endgame over and over again. But ones that I'm trying to think. Waiting for Guffman is one. The Princess Bride, both featuring Christopher Guest in some way. Those are great. I mean, I love Arrested Development is one of my favorite TV shows too. But that kind of just humor I love. Gosh, I'm totally blanking right now. I'm gonna totally. I was just talking about this today. The Other Guys might be one of my favorite movies ever too. Like that one's. It's just so funny. The the Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. Aim for the bushes. Yeah. Let's see. Oh man, cool board games. I'm probably sadly very, very, very deficient on that, but I love Settlers of Catan. I lived in Germany for a little bit and actually bought the German version. You should see it actually has die cast little villages and whatnot. So Settlers of Catan, that's always a good one. Ticket to Ride, we play a lot. We've been into there's this what is it? Throw Burrito has been a fun one, although it's scary and dangerous in my house. And then some of those just silly games. What is it? There's a sushi game we play where you kind of put together a sushi plate. It's just fun. Really been fun. But anyway, a lot of right now it's been mostly kids games. Has anyone ever played Pounce or Nerds with card games? My wife's family is hugely into it and they destroy me, but it's still fun. All right, I'll do a couple more here, but then I'm gonna I gotta get going here. I just realized, man, this has been really fun. I did not expect this to be just constantly going. I appreciate everyone seriously for showing up from the bottom of my heart. You're always you're nervous doing something silly something crazy like this. Anyway, to me, it's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's probably that one. And I'd have to do a big reread, and and it would be a great, wonderful reread because especially those first three books, and I even defend Feast for Crows. I really like that. I actually have not read Dance with Dragons. I was protesting by not reading it, even though I own it and bought it. That's a big. I'm terrible at protesting, apparently. It's yet to be written or released. It's going to be Michael McDonald's book. No, could be. That's a good question, man. It's probably. I mean, honestly, it's that I probably get back into or the Doors of Stone. Gosh, good question. Sorry, I know I keep saying that because I'm stalling for sure. It might be the same. I know that's those are easy. That's yet to be written or released. Oh man, I mean the Scott Lynch. Liza Lamora. That's another one I put on hold. Just going, I can't commit. I just have so much. You get just so much on your plate anyway. Being a fan of reading, that it's hard to. You just can't wait around rereading some of these. In a past life, there was times where I would be able to just reread a bunch of books that you just had a couple favorite authors. But now when you have 100 or 200 favorite authors, and then you try to keep up on everything that they're all putting out in a given year, it's impossible. But yeah, I'll go with, Winds of Winter. As much as I want to act like I'm over it, I'm done, I'll definitely be picking up as soon as it becomes available. It's so good. It's just, they're so well done. The worst of them are well done. Because that's the thing too, is I feel like people too much, you compare to the series that it's in, which is fine. I think that's one comparison to make, but you also have to make a comparison to everything else. So anyway, John Wick, yes, it's so good. It's just so good. Yeah, I get like back when Will Ferrell like really took off, I started getting like people compare me to him or say I look like him, and I was like, thanks, but I get it. But it is like I'm a Will Ferrell fan. I grew up with Saturday Night Live. We would watch him be the with the cheerleader, right? The I think I still have it memorized. The float, float. What is it? Float, float. You putting around like a motorboat. You got trouble. What? You blowing bubbles. What? So classic. Blah blah blah. Yes, great. The great blah blah blah. Huge inspiration. Yeah, it's like I was watching that before I even thought of becoming a lawyer. Funny enough. What's your favorite German phrase? Oh my gosh. One that I find myself, I still will throw out there is Friede, Freude. Wow, is it Friede, Freude und Eierkuchen? Friede, Freude und Eierkuchen. Peace, love, and pancakes. Or peace, what is it now? Friede, Freude? Yeah, joy. Sorry. Peace, joy, and pancakes. Just like a flippant, yeah, peace, joy, and pancakes. I love that. Yes, and I'm loving them. That's what we came for, right? Oh man. Seriously, you've had some of the best questions. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. First and last out. Love the bridge burners. Always going to get me with that. Yes, seriously, I am there for it, but I am with you too. All right, well, I will wrap it up. I literally cannot thank everyone just for showing up, for just all the support, all the love. It just has made this so much fun. It's literally like I thought this would be cool. That's what I wanted to do this for years, to start my own YouTube channel. But to just see the love and the support and everything, thank you, Ursi. You're the best, seriously. And it's just like people like Ursi. I get to be friends with Ursi, and like how cool is this? How cool is this? We live on opposite sides of the country, kind of. I don't know. And just like that we get to share like something that we love like this, that like means a lot. Like this gets emotional, right? Like, and I get emotional just talking about this stuff, but it's like this is emotional stuff we're dealing with, like, and we love getting our hearts torn out, right? But to share that with other people is like so powerful. It's so cool. And I just love this community, the support and the love. And I just cannot thank you guys enough. And I appreciate it. So this will hopefully stay up or whatever. We'll see if I did things right. It was seriously a ton of fun. Thank you to you guys. Seriously. Appreciate it. And we will signing off. I don't know why I'm doing this. What do I do with these? See, Will Ferrell references, too many. All right. Hey, love you guys. Seriously, I cannot thank you enough. And we'll catch you later. Bye.